Welcome, deep divers. Really excited about today's deep dive. We're getting into something called subconscious reprogramming.
Yeah, it sounds complex, maybe, but it's actually incredibly relevant to, well, everyone.
Exactly. And our main source today is Hector Jesus Arancibia. He's the founder of the Universe Unveiled. Quite a figure, blends mind science, ancient wisdom, modern energy work.
He really bridges those worlds, travels globally, pulls it all together.
Right. So our mission today is simple. Unpack why this stuff works. We're looking at brain science, psychology, even spiritual angles, and importantly, how you can actually use it.
hmm
And Hector kicks it off with something really provocative. He says, "You were never broken. You were programmed."
That hits differently, doesn't it?
Yep,
It shifts the whole perspective away from fixing flaws.
it really does. And the immediate follow-up is the good news. What was programmed can be reprogrammed.
That's the empowerment piece right there.
Totally. Now, some might hear reprogramming and think, okay, a bit woo-woo, but we're going to show how it's grounded in neuroscience, what some call spiritual tech, stuff successful people are actually doing.
Definitely. So let's start with the basics. What is the subconscious mind? Many of you listening probably have some idea.
Right, it's a familiar term.
But let's refine it. Think of it as this huge, silent operating system running beneath your conscious awareness.
The background processes.
Exactly. It's where your deep beliefs live, your habits run on autopilot, your emotional patterns are stored. And get this, it dictates something like 95% of your behavior.
95%? Wow. That's
Yeah.
most of everything we do.
Pretty much. Hector uses a great analogy. The subconscious is like soil. Every thought, feeling, repetition you have, that's a seed planted in this soil.
Okay, I like that.
Now, if that soil is choked with weeds,
Mm-hmm.
limiting beliefs like I'm not good enough or money is hard to come by, then your conscious efforts to plant flowers, say positive goals.
They won't take root properly.
Exactly. You'll keep reverting back because the underlying soil conditions aren't right. That's why just chanting affirmations often doesn't cut it.
Right. You say, I am wealthy, but the soil's full of I'm broke weeds.
Precisely. Affirmations need to be emotionally charged. You have to feel them
Yeah.
and repeat them consistently enough to actually penetrate that soil, change its composition.
That makes so much sense. The soil analogy really helps. So, okay, if the subconscious is the soil, how does the brain itself play into this reprogramming? You mentioned neuroscience.
Yes, this is where it gets really fascinating. Hector calls it the brain's secret weapon, neuroplasticity.
Ah, neuroplasticity. Heard a lot about that. What does it mean in this
I guess
context?
it means your brain isn't fixed. That old idea that we're hardwired after childhood, completely debunked.
Thank goodness.
Right. Neuroplasticity is the brain's incredible ability to physically change, to rewire itself based on new experiences, new thoughts, new emotions. You are always programmable.
Always programmable. Okay, that's powerful. So how does that rewiring actually happen, like physically?
Well, every time you think a new thought, practice a new habit,
Mm.
or even visualize something vividly, you're creating new neural pathways, little connections between brain cells.
Okay.
Keep doing it, and those pathways get stronger, more established. Eventually, they can override the old default pathways. And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
The stronger the emotion you attach to that new thought or visualization, the faster the rewiring happens. It's like adding fertilizer to the new pathway.
Ah, emotion speeds it up. That links back to the affirmations needing emotional charge.
Exactly. It's all connected. It perfectly illustrates Donald Hebb's famous saying, neurons that fire together wire together.
Yeah.
You're literally building new brain structure with focused thought and feeling.
Mind-blowing, really. So if we're always programmable, are there like optimal times or states for this programming? When is the brain most receptive?
Great question. And yes, there are. Building on neuroplasticity, let's talk about the theta window.
Theta window.
All right.
Okay.
In childhood, especially up to around age 7, the brain operates predominantly in theta brainwave frequencies. That's about 4 to 8 hertz. This state is incredibly receptive, like hypnosis.
So that's why kids absorb everything like sponges, beliefs, language.
Precisely. They're in this prime state for subconscious imprinting. They download programs directly without the critical filter adults have.
Makes sense. But can adults get back into that state? Or is that window closed?
No, not at all. We can consciously access theta. Think about deep meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Hypnosis, definitely. That state just before you fall asleep or just as you're waking up, that's often theta or alpha, very suggestible states. Even focused visualization or using subliminal audio can help you access it.
So these aren't just relaxation techniques, they're tools for accessing the programming state.
Exactly. They let you bypass the noisy conscious mind and speak directly to the subconscious, reprogramming it at the root level. It's like getting administrator access to your own operating system.
Okay, wow. Neuroscience, theta states. This is concrete. But Hector also brings in a spiritual dimension, right? He connects this to ancient wisdom.
He does. He points out that teachings from figures like Neville Goddard, concepts in the Vedas, many mystical traditions, they all echo this core idea. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner state.
That's a profound statement. What does it really mean practically?
It means this reprogramming work isn't just about changing habits or feelings. It's deeper. It's essentially creation.
Reprogramming is creation. Explain that a bit more.
Well, the idea is your subconscious doesn't just store beliefs. It actively uses those beliefs as instructions to shape your reality.
Hmm.
It manifests what you assume to be true.
So if I assume I'm unworthy,
Your subconscious will find ways to validate that feeling in your experience. It will filter opportunities, influence interactions, guide choices, all to match that core assumption, until you change the assumption.
and if I assume I'm abundant,
Same process, different outcome. It seeks to prove that assumption true. So, changing those core assumptions, reprogramming, that's not just self-help. Hector calls it sacred work. You're consciously participating in the creation of your reality.
that really elevates the whole process. Okay, so we get the what and the why. Let's get practical. People listening are probably thinking, okay, great theory, but how do I actually do this?
Right, the actionable steps. Hector lays out several key methods. The first one, he calls it the mother of programming, is repetition.
Repetition. Makes sense. Practice makes permanent.
Exactly. Consistent repetition of thoughts, feelings, actions. That's what carves those neural pathways deep. Repeated thoughts harden into beliefs. Repeated beliefs shape your reality. It's simple, but powerful.
And tied into that, you mentioned emotion earlier. Emotionally charged visualization must be crucial then.
Absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
The subconscious thinks in images and feelings, so simply visualizing isn't enough. You need to feel the reality of your desired outcome as if it's already happened. That feeling component sends a much stronger signal.
Got it. Image plus feeling. What else?
Next up is your environment and triggers. Your surroundings play a huge role. The people, the places, the information you consume.
They either reinforce the old programming or support the new.
Exactly. They can trigger old patterns or sabotage your efforts. Sometimes, consciously changing your environment, even small changes can act as a powerful pattern interrupt. It breaks the automatic cycle.
Which leads nicely into pattern interrupts themselves. These are like quick techniques to break a negative loop.
Precisely. Think of it as hitting the pause button on autopilot. It could be something physical, like clapping your hands, snapping a rubber band lightly on your wrist,
I've heard of that one.
or something verbal, like consciously saying, "Stop, I choose a new thought now." Or even just getting up and moving your body differently when you notice an old pattern kicking in. The goal is to jolt yourself out of the groove.
Create a momentary gap to choose differently.
Yes. And finally, circling back to what we discussed earlier, theta access techniques.
Right. Meditation, hypnosis, that pre-sleep state.
Mhm. Making time for practices that help you access that suggestible theta state is key. Guided meditations are great for this. Hypnosis can be very effective. Even that simple Neville Goddard technique of vividly daydreaming your wish fulfilled just before drifting off to sleep.
Because that's when the conscious filter is down.
Exactly. Reprogramming happens much faster and deeper in those states.
Okay, this is really practical. Can we walk through an example maybe to see how it all fits together?
Sure, let's take a common one. Say someone has a deep-seated subconscious belief, "I'll never be wealthy."
Yeah.
Consciously, they want more money, right? They set goals, maybe try hard.
But things just don't seem to work out.
Right. They might procrastinate on important financial tasks. Or maybe an opportunity comes along and they find a reason not to take it. Or they get close to success and then suddenly feel immense fear or self-doubt.
Self-sabotage. Because the subconscious program is running the show.
Exactly. It's overriding the conscious desire because its core belief is, "I'm not wealthy." It has to act in accordance with that belief.
Okay, so how does reprogramming change that?
Well, let's say this person starts applying the techniques. They begin daily affirmations like, "I am worthy of abundance." But crucially, they practice feeling the gratitude and relief of already being abundant during visualization.
So repetition plus emotion.
Yes.
Mm.
Maybe they also change their environment, start reading books by successful entrepreneurs, spend time with people who have a positive money mindset, unfollow negative news cycles.
Changing the input, interrupting old triggers.
Mhm. And perhaps they use guided meditations focused on abundance before sleep, accessing that theta state. Slowly, Consistently, the subconscious starts to receive and accept the new message. The "I am worthy of abundance" seed starts to take root in the soil.
And what does that look like on the outside?
You start noticing shifts. Maybe small synchronicities pop up related to money or opportunities. New people enter their life who offer help or ideas. They suddenly feel inspired to take action on something they were procrastinating on. It feels less like forcing and more like flow.
Ah, so it's not always a lightning bolt, but a gradual shift in perception and opportunities.
Often, yes. That's reprogramming in motion. The inner shift starts reflecting in the outer reality.
That makes it feel much more achievable. So, bringing this all together, then, what does this really mean for you, the listener? What are the big takeaways here?
I think the biggest takeaway is just how vital this work is. Because that subconscious controls 95% of your life.
Hmm.
If you don't address it, you're essentially trying to steer a ship with only 5% control. You'll just keep hitting the same rocks.
Stuck in the same patterns despite conscious effort.
Exactly. And for anyone wondering, does this really work? The answer is yes. The neuroscience, like neuroplasticity, backs it up. It's a foundation for therapies like CBT, hypnosis, guided meditation. It's helped countless people.
Right, it's not fringe anymore. And what about time frame? People always want to know how long it takes.
Yeah, that's always the question.
Yeah.
Studies vary, but you often hear figures like 21 to 66 days to form new neural pathways through consistent practice. But honestly, with strong emotion and visualization, some people feel shifts much faster. Consistency is the main thing.
And the tools are accessible. We mentioned affirmations, meditation, visualization.
Hypnosis, journaling's great too. Mirror work, looking yourself in the eye and affirming truths, pattern interrupts, subliminals, theta state work. There's a whole toolkit.
And what about that spiritual connection you mentioned?
Well, many traditions see the subconscious, or maybe the superconscious, as a kind of bridge, a gateway to the divine, your higher self, universal intelligence, whatever term resonates.
So aligning your subconscious isn't just about getting stuff, it's about aligning with something bigger.
That's the perspective, yes. Manifesting becomes less about forcing and more about allowing, receiving with grace, because you're aligned with deeper truths. And if you want to learn more, check out folks like Bob Proctor, Joseph Murphy, definitely Hector Jesus Arancibia, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton. Great teachers in this space.
Good pointers. And one last common question. Can you actually do this while you sleep?
Absolutely. As we said, the brain goes into theta during early sleep stages. It's prime time. Playing affirmations softly or using specific subliminal audio tracks designed for sleep, it's a great passive way to reinforce the new programming.
Okay. And if someone tries this and doesn't see results immediately?
Don't give up. Consistency is everything. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't dig them up every day to see if they're growing. You water them, trust the process. The changes are happening beneath the surface, compounding over time.
Right, trust the process. So ultimately, what happens when the subconscious programming does change?
Your reality changes. It has to. You start attracting different experiences, people, opportunities. You feel different emotionally from the inside out. You begin living in alignment with who you truly want to be, what you truly desire. It's transformative.
So the core message here, the big insight from Hector and all this work.
Is that you are the programmer. You hold the keys. You're not stuck with your past programming. You're not doomed to repeat old patterns forever. Your subconscious is incredibly powerful, yes, but it listens to your conscious direction, especially when delivered with consistency and feeling.
Change the inner code, and the outer reality must follow. That's a powerful place to end. So we'll leave you with this thought to ponder. What inner code, what subconscious program might you want to identify and consciously begin to rewrite in your own life?